Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bullhucker Podcast. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
And I'm Jed Neb, otherwise known as Generous.
Generous! Where we at, Jed Neb?
We are down at the Club Tap Room in lovely downtown Fort Morgan, Colorado.
Back at the Club Tap Room again.
Yes, we love it here.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite places of the podcast. So, and in case you haven't seen the other podcast, make sure you look below in the description. You'll see a link for the Club Tap Room and Picking Out Barbecue. So 2 local businesses, a great family in town, so make sure you support them. And if you need some catering services done,
call the Club Tap Room.
Yeah, get old Ryan Stroh up there. He's a fucking barbecuing fool. So, yeah.
So good.
Yeah, they do a really good job. So, at my old job, they used to hire Ryan to come by and do our little anniversaries, whatever. So, he's the only caterer who actually went to both shifts. Most of them just come to one shift, cook everything, and the night crew gets kind of whatever the fuck's left over, Ryan actually sat his ass there until midnight, 1 in the morning, cooking for him. So, pretty dedicated guy. So, and speaking of Ryan Stroh, we have a guest today.
We have got Ryan's daughter, one of his twins, Mady, today. Mady Stroh, everybody.
Yeah, the other twin. Yeah, her twin was the 2 weeks ago.
Right, Allie.
Yeah, Allie, who kicked our ass. So Allie Stroh.
Another spawn of a Stroh, like you like to say, in the
right,
other podcast.
That's right. She's been listening. This spawn.
Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of get an idea of what you're getting into.
Right.
And I gotta get my plug in. These twins are hot, you guys. If you ever want to view one and not listen to a podcast, tune in.
Yeah, way to make it creepy, Jen. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
she needs to get her eyes checked.
I can make it creepy because I know them. Their mother is one of my best friends.
That's right,
So
Trisha Bartles.
if I want to sexually objectify any of them, it's my right.
And that's their pimp, Jennifer Neb. So
That's
there
right.
you go.
Come to me for all your pimping needs.
Good Lord, woman.
Excuse me, other needs. I'm the pimp.
So you said you've been watching a few of the episodes. How are you at guessing the Bullhucker?
I mean, a lot of the ones that I have watched are the people that I know.
Right.
So some of them were kind of easy to tell, but then honestly, I could not guess my cousins for the life of me. Like Gage's.
Oh, really?
His was super hard, and then even Chloe's, I couldn't really guess. Paula Keefe's, super hard.
Right.
They were insane.
Right.
I was like, how do you go through that much stuff?
Yeah. You know what? You were young. I mean, it's crazy. In 20 years, you look back when you're telling your sister at the stuff you've done already. Like probably some of these, and you're going to be like, oh my God,
I know.
how am I still alive? Right?
Yeah.
How do I survive some of this shit?
Yeah.
Right? What was Gage's Bullhucker? I can't remember now.
It was the grinder date, I believe.
The murderer.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
And Paula Keefe's was...
it was a car show one. She
That's
just
right.
swapped it. She wasn't the one on stage. I believe it was Larry.
Right. And then Chloe's... I liked Chloe's episode. She had one story. God, what was it? There's been 100 of them now, so it's so hard for me to recall.
I can't really remember hers.
Yeah, and Chloe's got that personality, right? Mm-hmm. She's on the 100th episode telling stories about old Aunt Dencia, too.
Yeah.
Fucking Aunt Dencia. So.
Love you, Aunt Dencia.
I love Dencia. She's one of my favorite people. So I just like to badmouth her because we're not nice to each other. That's no fun. So.
We love
Right.
you, Dencia.
Right. Mady, what do you do for a living?
I work at a retail store in PacSun in Loveland. So
Wow.
I run the store. I'm the store manager there.
Oh, that's cool. How do you like that?
It's stressful sometimes because
Right.
you're taking the rash for everyone. So if they do something wrong and if for some reason I get a visit or a call, they're like, well, why is it like this? And I'm like, well, if I'm being honest, I wasn't the one that did it. But I mean, ultimately that comes from me and my coaching style.
Sure.
So sometimes that's hard, but I do like it. It is a fun place to express who you are, and you get to help people in the midst of it. So I like it.
Here's a spoiler. I'm super old. So what is a PacSun?
So it's called Pacific Sunwear. PacSun is just short.
Okay.
It's a clothing store
Okay.
from out of California.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a video store back in the day called Pack Something, right? Wasn't there? That's what I was trying to think of. Well, you're not selling videotapes, right? That's it.
No.
Come on, man.
Just close.
The only one I can think of that was real commercial, in bigger places, was Hollywood Video. I can't think of one with Pack.
No, there used to be a store in the mall, every mall, and they had they sold videos and the weird little figurines and shit.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I cannot think of one. But yeah, PacSun is a lot like that, running along the lines of Topic and Journey.
Okay.
A lot
Yeah,
of
we sell big
skater
brands, too.
clothes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well,
Yeah.
if you know what the hell I'm talking about, put it in the description below. I'd love to know. So clear that up for me. So, and how long have you been doing that for?
A little over a year and a half, I believe. Now it'll be 2 years in June or July.
And you're already running it.
Yeah, I mean, they interviewed me for the first manager, like the first assistant, the full time,
Right.
and they were like, "You overqualify for that," because I've been in
Nice.
retail for like 7 years now, 7.5 years. I started over here at Maurice's, and then I moved my way up
Right.
at PacSun. So I just wanted to branch out of Fort Morgan.
Good Lord, girl, you must have
And
a
good
thick
for you.
skin.
Yeah,
Thick skin to be in retail, man.
it's hard.
I bet.
Especially up there.
Right. Right.
It's
People-
a competitive market, but good. You know, good on you.
Yeah.
No student loans.
Mm-hmm.
You're young and you're
Yeah.
already in charge. Fucking A,
Right.
man.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. Like, I think a lot of people see retail as like, oh, it's so easy. You get to
No.
work with clothes all day. And I'm like,
No.
no. Like, it's not like that at all.
No. I think the only thing worse is having to work with people's food and their money,
Yeah.
like in banking or
Yeah.
whatever. Then, I mean, screw that shit, man. I don't.
I love
No.
that niche. But you're
Right.
right. It comes with its own set of. You've got to be able to multitask and think on your feet and be busy. And
Oh, yeah.
yes, take the world of the way the shit bags work for you on your shoulders.
And
Yeah.
Not that your employees are shit bags, but
I
Right.
love all my employees.
Some of you
I
might
can hire
be.
and fire, you know? Like, I'm in charge.
Yeah. How many employees are there?
I want to say that there's like 19 of us total right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a lot of college students.
A lot of high school. There's like
Okay.
a mix, like college.
Yeah.
I want to say that I'm like one of the oldest ones there,
Wow.
actually. So,
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough to be in charge of. I remember when I was like in high school and I was not a good employee. I'm not a good employee at
What were
47
you-
years old.
you
but
were-
it was-
you
it
were
was
at
worse.
Wendy's
I
in
was
high
at
school,
Wendy's,
right?
yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
making my rounds through all of them because I was too busy partying. I would rather have a hangover than go to
Right.
work. So I was fired from every fast food place in town
Were you really?
during high school. Woo, woo.
You're too much, Jennifer. How do you get fired?
I know.
What's the craziest thing you've been fired for at a fast food place?
Well, mostly just no call, no show. But I do have a funny story.
Such a slacker.
At Arby's, the two managers flipped a coin to see who had to have fire me because they were scared
Really?
of how I was going to react. One of them was Mark Swetzig. What's up, Mark? He's the one that told me the story. So Mark
Dang.
lost the coin toss. And I said, wow, what did I do? And he goes, you just got up and said, all right, and walked out the door. He's
Oh,
like, there was no
God.
reason for us to be scared at all.
Wendy's almost got sued one time. I thought I was going to lose my job over this one. I thought it was hilarious. So what we used to do was if you knew somebody, the pop lids, the little, you put them in their hamburgers, right?
okay.
And then
Oh.
watch them try to bite through the fucking thing. It's the funniest thing
Oh my
I've ever
God,
seen.
that's
It's like
genius.
it's like a dog just, trying to get it off. And dude, someone chipped a tooth, and it was.
On
Yeah.
one of those.
The lids, like the lids that go on top. Yeah,
Oh,
you
no, come on.
put one
They
in the
couldn't
hamburger.
possibly blame your pop lid on the.
Dude,
tooth.
it's hilarious to watch someone trying to bite one because you can't bite through one. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's just impossible. So, if you're working at a Wendy's, try it sometime. It's hilarious. Get you fired, but it's
That
hilarious.
is too funny.
Don't do that.
I found this on the Bullhucker podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Such a great idea.
yeah. Why don't we have
It's-
microphones anymore? I got sued. They took them. That's we got one fucking camera and that's it. So, right. So, in case I haven't said it, welcome to the Bullhucker podcast. In case you're new to the podcast, what we do is we bring on a guest. Today's Mady Stroh. She can tell 3 stories about her life. Now, here's the kicker. 2 of these stories are true. One's actually either borrowed, made up, or partly made up. Now, Mady, without going into great detail, which one is it? Is it a borrowed story, a made-up story, or a partly made-up story?
Partly made up.
That's the most popular way. It's tough, though.
It is
It's hard to
tough.
come up with a lie, right?
It is because it's like I feel like my stories are already super crazy. So to
Right.
try and make one into like like a twist
Right.
or of something,
Right.
I'm like, well, what can I add in that's like not true?
Right.
Like,
right.
You know.
Right. Yeah,
So
it's tough.
yeah.
It's tough. But we've had like maybe, I don't know, 5-6 people that have completely made the story up.
That's
And-
insane to come off with like a
They should
story
be
like on
writing
top of your head.
novels. Right.
Right. The other Deuce, Raish, is actually what impressed me the most because I totally hook, line, and sinker bit on her fake story. And when I look back at her story, it was an obvious lie 'Cause it was so outrageous.
All of it was a lie. The entire
thing.
Not one
Wow.
iota of it.
She
came
told a
from her
story
life.
about meeting a guy online, corresponding, going to meet him on a date, sitting down. He got weird, got up, realized she had sat down with the wrong person the whole time. Just some random
Wow.
dude. Yeah. So when the guy she'd been corresponding with texted her and said, "What happened to you?" And she's like, "I just left. We just got done." And he's like, "I haven't left the house yet."
Oh,
It was a lie. And
That
I
is
mean,
fascinating.
but
That
when she
is.
told it so well. I just totally bit on it, man. So
Huh.
it's hard.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
so simple and real, too.
Right. So, well, Maddie, you ready to tell some stories?
I am, yeah.
All right, Generous. You want to name them off?
I will name them off. All right, so for number 1, we have shitty day at work. 2, Airbnb and uh-oh, and bars and cars for number 3.
I like those stories. I like the titles. Titles are fun to make up too, right?
It's so hard though.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like I struggled more with the like naming of the stories than I did like coming up with the stories.
Really? That's
Yeah.
fun. People tell me the titles are the fun part. So, mine, that's what I had fun with the titles. So, all right. Jennifer, you picked first the last 2, so you mind if I pick first this time?
You go for it.
All right. I always say the one I want to hear last, so I'm going to avoid that. But,
Okay.
all right, let's listen to Airbnb and uh-oh.
Okay, so Airbnb and uh-oh. So this was a trip that my sister Allie, my little sister Alyssa, and Alyssa's boyfriend Caleb all decided to go on, just us kids. It was right around Caleb's birthday. We road tripped all the way down to Tampa, Florida. Yeah, we left Fort Morgan super early in the morning, and then we decided to road trip all the way down to Tampa. But before all of that, we decided to message a whole bunch of influencers that we thought were like, you know, cool or whatever off
Right.
of like TikTok, if you guys know what that is.
Yeah, yeah. That's called a backhanded. you're two old asses. There's a thing called the internet.
Yeah.
Hey, fat guy, you can find porn on there. We both know, right?
Oh my, I don't involve myself in that. But yeah, anyway, we reached out to a few influencers and actually they like responded.
Wow.
So we got this big Airbnb that was probably, if I remember, it was like close to $700 a night.
Wow.
Yeah, so like this Airbnb had a swimming pool like outside. It was huge.
Right.
And then it looked like it was an outdoor area, but like once you walked inside, there was like an outdoor shower, and then you walk into this like side door.
Right.
Or you could walk into like the main. It was like a huge slide door, but it slid like all the way open.
Cool.
And there was like a screen door if you wanted to like bring that out and stuff too. Well, anyway. There's like a hot tub inside of like this area that's actually indoors, but it has like that fake like green grass turf in it,
Right.
with a fire pit. But anyway, so we had one of the influencers that brought, he came, and then he brought one of his buddies and a few other buddies and stuff, and we threw this party in like this Airbnb. And then on the Airbnb site, it said like the whole house was like available for everyone, but it turns to find out that they didn't have the master bedroom unlocked. Well, of course, like kids, you get them in there, they're all, you know, pretty much under the age of 21. There
Right.
might have been a few that were, you know, already there at that age, but of course, like us kids, like you rent it out. Well, we make our way into the master bedroom.
Through the window outside? Or
Well,
did
we
you
did try
break in
that.
through
I'm not
the
going to say
door?
that. We did try doing that also, but we just literally were shaking on like the
You
bedroom
found-
door.
You found your way in.
Yeah, we probably, you know, shouldn't have, but also don't post on your website like the entire house is available. And
Right,
like
right,
our
right.
defense, like we're paying that much money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so much money.
Yeah.
But we made our way in, and of course we get into like their walk-in closet, and there's like a whole bunch of like Jordans and like Louis
Oh,
Vuitton
shit.
and like Michael Kors, and like we're like the guys, the influencers are like trying them on, of course. Like I'm just like,
Right.
we probably shouldn't be touching this stuff, guys. Like I know we already did like a bad deed by
Wow.
getting into this room, but yeah, we literally like turned on all the speakers, played music, had all these influencers here.
You know, I'll say this: if you're stupid enough to rent your place out while you have all
Yeah.
that stuff in there, you're just asking.
Yeah.
For, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you're asking for it. You know what I mean?
Take your Gucci with you and go.
We
yeah.
were like the second people, or the first or second people to ever like stay in that Airbnb, and
Right.
since then they have taken it off
I mean,
because we ruined like the screen door and like was so bad.
Yeah.
But they like ended up reaching out to Caleb because it was underneath Caleb's name, and they were asking like all types of questions, and we're like,
Right.
well, how did the screen door break? Well, how did you guys get into the master bedroom? The master bedroom shower was wet. Like someone had taken a shower and
Right.
like tried charging his card, but I think he turned his card off.
Attaboy.
Like, and he's
Attaboy.
like, well, you did advertise like this and this and this, and
Right.
we didn't get it. But
Right.
yeah, so
Fun.
yeah, we literally threw this party.
Did anybody rob them, do you think?
No.
No?
No.
That's
I
good.
mean, we were there the entire time to know that like none of the stuff was ever
Just
taken.
try-ons.
Good.
Yeah,
Fun.
yeah.
Stuff you'll never hold.
Yeah, no. I mean, if they would have stolen something, I think at that point I would have been like super uncomfortable.
Right.
Because you know, like the people obviously made their money, and like you
Right.
know, well
Right.
worth it probably, but
Right.
just dumb kids. Just
I mean, you gotta. It's two sides of a stone. I don't know. I would never have that stuff in there to begin with.
yeah, no me.
If
either.
you're not people walking through the house,
Yeah.
you take everything out that's worth something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even leave the master bedroom open for $700 a night. My God, you know.
Yeah, and I'm like, maybe have an age limit on your house.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
like I said, like I want to say that Caleb was actually turning 21, like that time that we were going out
Right.
to Tampa, and I would have been 19 or 20. So
Right.
You know.
I mean, you take that chance, right?
Yeah.
You take that chance with it.
Yeah.
I've never done an Airbnb. Have you?
I have. Have you ever? Oh, so you've never stolen anything from an Airbnb?
No.
Oh, so you have.
I took a tiny cheese spread once.
I mean, are you
that
shocked,
had a-
Maddie? Is
No,
this shocking
no,
news
not
to
at
you?
all.
Yeah,
I took a tiny for like a charcuterie board cheese
Oh.
spreader.
Yeah.
Because it had this tiny knife, cool
Aw.
like dragon knife on this end, but it was only about this big. And I thought, well, who's using this as a fucking cheese spreader? Give me a break.
Right.
So I took it. I did. I took
Well,
it.
Did you get charged?
But yeah, we used Airbnb all the time. Do you think they noticed a cheese spreader this
Well,
big?
maybe.
It wasn't under my name. I should ask Eric.
Yeah.
I don't think he got charged.
Oh well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully.
yeah.
I wish they had a whole kit, but it was just the one.
We did the CML conference in Breckenridge this last year for the city council, and we got in late, so the city clerk got us like these kick-ass rooms, 2 stories. I mean, it was bigger than my house, right? And it was just me. But yeah, it was all furnished with like plates and all this cool stuff, and I was pretty shocked. It's probably to rob them blind. I mean, I didn't do it, but yeah.
Airbnbs are not what they're cracked up to be unless you spend $700 a night. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, but I was like,
They're pretty oogie if you're going cheap.
Really?
yeah. And this one had like cameras inside too, so like shame on us. But like we didn't know that they had cameras, which was kind of like the sketchy thing.
But I've heard that's a pretty common thing too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, now I feel like it is. I feel like I've been in Airbnbs that also haven't had them, but they were like everywhere, like right outside the bathroom, and that was like enough for me to be like,
Right.
They're allowed
didn't see it at
to.
first.
They just have to notify it in their book
yeah,
or whatever.
but they
yeah.
didn't. So I was like,
Right.
Well, and then you know there's the taking advantage people who are putting them in your private areas where
Yeah.
they're not legally supposed to be.
And,
Yeah.
and they're doing it with like the little cameras that go in like the outlets, so it looks like an outlet. You don't know there's a camera there,
Oh.
right? Like they're
Well,
yeah. I was watching
they-
something online about that.
They make them this big. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen the body cams? I have a
Yeah.
little body cam. It's only this big.
teeny tiny.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever know I had it on.
Or like nanny cams.
I've got one on you now.
Oh, okay.
Creepy.
I mean,
right?
actually, my life's kind of boring. I just go to work,
yeah.
gym, sleep.
Yeah.
Just oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'll tell you what. She just talked about how gorgeous you were. Now she's got a cam on you. If you feel uncomfortable, just blink 3 times. Okay, we'll get Jenna. Yeah.
But when
If
have you
you're in
not
trouble.
Yeah.
when have you not heard totally dirty things come out of my mouth over the
Oh, I
course
know.
of us
I
hanging
mean,
out?
yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing comedy at our next comedy show.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
Yeah. So
exciting.
it's a Valentine's Day show with people there with couples. So I'm a little nervous on this one, but I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I talk
Hold her
about
down.
dating.
Hold
I
her
talk
down.
about
Yeah,
dating.
Yeah. Is that what you're gonna do?
A little bit of dating.
Okay, cool. Well, at the time
Way
this
more.
comes out, it's already been passed. So
Way more fun shit, but dating's
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, there you go.
all right. Well, what did you think about that story, though?
I think the story's great, and I asked Allie the same question that I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Was this the one where you guys were jumping off the roof and the pillars into the pool?
Yes.
I knew about one of these
Yeah,
trips.
they were climbing up on the brick walls and then jumping into the pool.
The videos of that were so you think, oh my god, they're crazy, but the videos of it were awesome. I gotta say that you guys
Yeah.
did post.
It kind of bums me out though, because I would totally go back to that Airbnb and just put it underneath my name and not Caleb's.
That Airbnb was nice.
That's funny.
Very luxurious.
Great story though.
It was.
What
It
a fun
was
experience
super.
too.
Yeah.
What a fun experience,
Most
you know.
definitely. I mean, I'm still friends with like the influencers and stuff. They actually just asked me not too long ago if I wanted to go to Nashville, and I was like, I can't take off work. Like,
Wow.
it was in December, so I'm like, hopefully sometime.
Nashville.
Good for you,
nice.
man. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Do as much of that shit. You have kids yet?
No, no.
Yeah, dude, Maddie, do as much of that shit as humanly possible, man.
Yeah,
Live life, man, for sure.
trying.
As long as you don't hurt yourself or hurt anybody else.
Right.
The only two rules in life, man. Try everything else. Fuck it, man. If I could be your age again, man, I'd do it so different. You?
Definitely different. And don't have kids and just keep doing that until the day you die. Just mine. Sorry, Owen. I love you, but
Just
don't do it. Yeah.
I know. I love you, but
Yeah, if I
Enjoy your life anyways.
Yeah, if I
Right.
could do it again, you'd ended up in a condom. That's just what I say. You know, that's just what, you know, it's a horrible thing, Jen. God damn it. You know? Oh, my God. I'd have paid some weird dude to punch me in the stomach. Whatever you want to say, however you want to go about it. So, but I do love you now. I love you
Yeah.
now, you know. I'm gonna need a ride Tuesday, but
yeah.
Actually, I liked him better when he was little, but
yeah.
he knows that. So.
Yeah, be a lookout now. They have kids. You just enjoy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have a good time and let her change the diaper. So, as she watches, she goes, "What the fuck?" All right. So, one great story down. We have two left. We have a shitty day at work and bars and cars, Jen. Which
And
one?
I already know which one you want to hear last.
You know what?
So
You know me
let's
too well.
go with shitty day at work for you. 'Cause
All right.
we all have that.
Right. All right. So shitty day at work. I want to say that it was like a typical like weekday. Like nothing like too crazy. We were kind of like in the middle of like a floor set, which is kind of like when you change out the entire store.
Right.
You know, for like different product and like a new season. So we're switching out everything. Well, I like had noticed like that morning, I was there by myself for a little bit until like one of my other managers came in. And so I walk in, do my thing, start working on the store. But every time I walked into the back, which is where our markdown section is, like all the sales stuff.
Right.
There was like a distinct smell, and I was like, I cannot figure out what the smell is. But then it's not out of the ordinary for it to smell like, you know, super bad, because in the winter the sewer like lines kind of, you know, get backed up, and it's absolutely
So
disgusting.
a distinct bad smell,
Yeah,
not
like a
not
shit smell.
pleasant, a
Like-
bad smell.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, I just kind of disregarded it because I was just like, you know, working on the store and we have a timeline. So I'm like trying to get it all done.
Right.
Well, I finally get some like of my employees and I have my manager come in, and then one of my associates. And then so we're all just like working on this floor set, but every single time that they walked back, they're like, okay, like I cannot. Well, Cassidy, my manager, decided to go back and work on like the markdowns. And I just heard like this scream. Like dead, like a scream, stops in her tracks, and it's like it almost sounded like she was crying, but she's like, Maddie, and I was like, oh my god, like what? I'm working on denim, like what do you need?
Yeah.
And she was like, please do not tell me this is shit. And I was like, excuse me, what? And she's like, come here. She's like, I'm not gonna pick these up, come here.
Oh no.
So I go and investigate. Guys, there's literal shit in these like shorts.
Wait. Are they shorts from the store, or
Retail
someone left their
shorts.
shorts?
It's like shorts that we were selling. They were in the markdown section. Like someone had like tossed it like over the like bottom part section.
I love this.
So they didn't shit their pants and
No.
switch them out for a pair of yours and steal yours and leave
No.
theirs.
No.
They shit in a pair of your retail
Yeah.
pants and left them at the store for you.
Yes.
Gross.
But I'm just like kind of wondering like how this all happened, because I'm like, well, did this guy like, or a woman, I'm assuming it was a guy though, because it was like a man's pair of shorts. But like, did you ask to like try them on and was just like, oh, I really gotta go, and like tried the shorts on and then like did your
Who goes
business.
clothes shopping when they have diarrhea?
I
Like,
don't
come
know.
on.
I don't know.
Here's the basic idea. If I have a choice to shit in my pants or shit in someone else's pants, I'm gonna shit in someone else's pants, okay?
But you're gonna put them back.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna take it with me, It's not a sack of lunch, Maddie. Like,
Put it back.
I'm gonna take this home and investigate what happened in this one. Is that a peanut? I don't remember eating a peanut. I better look into this.
If you leave, you're leaving the trail of tears on the other customers
But,
as
like-
they're smelling the shit on the way out.
Or
You-
his doctor needs a stool sample. He's like, I don't do this at my house, so pack some.
You go to your local like retail store.
That's right. He just had his doctor be like, you can keep those. They're brand new. I mean, other than
No
the
one
shit.
came forward though. We had to find them.
The mad shitter. Okay, anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm really like weak.
Sorry.
I have like such a weak stomach when it
Right.
comes down to that usually, and it hasn't been super bad until like I've gotten older. I feel like.
Right.
But like I was so awful that day. I was like, guys, like this is what do we do? Like, because at this point, like once she picked it up, of course, like then it like falls like on the floor, and I'm just like. Can we just like do this like neatly so we don't drop any more of it,
Right.
like please and
Right,
thanks.
right.
Well, of course, like Hunter's like my associate at the time, or he's still there, but like he was all, okay, God, like I'll help. Okay, I got it. So him and Cassidy are kind of like doing their thing, and like of course like I'm like helping, but I'm not like there like dealing with like the shit.
Right,
Like
right,
I'm not having
right.
any part of that. But I like got so pissed off because it was like dropping everywhere in the midst of like trying to, because like we had to go through like all the other clothes to make sure it didn't get on anything else. So I was so pissed that I was like, next customer that leaves, like I'm locking that door.
Right.
I went and locked the door during like business hours because there was like in the midst of it too, there was like these girls like recording and probably gonna post it like all over, and I'm like, I'm so fed up. So I went and locked the door, and then after they left, and while like I remember like Hunter grabbed like a broom and like scooped up the shorts and threw them in the trash can, got all over the trash can, and like on the way out taking him to the trash, he's there like puking and like trying to hold
Oh
it
my
together,
God.
and then Cassidy's there crying and I'm there like bleaching down everything, going through the clothes, and it was just ew.
Though, Maddie, I'll be honest with you. If you haven't done it in your young life, there's going to be a point where, how do I want to say this? Like, it's coming, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you start, I've always said this, there's never been such thing as an atheist who shit their pants, okay? Because you start making deals with God real fast when you think this is going to happen. You start praying, I don't give a shit what you believe in life. Please, Jesus, let this work out in my favor. So, let's just assume someone had it. I mean, it sucks. Put a sign on the door that says, "Dear mystery shitter, more fiber in your diet, please."
Yeah.
Let's keep it into one
I
log.
think he needed less fiber.
Oh, is that what it was?
Because doesn't fiber like
Oh, yeah, you may be right. Maybe
make
more,
you poop?
more protein in your diet. Let's
Yeah,
keep it a little
please.
more. Yes,
keep it
yes,
composed.
Yes.
Or just like have more cheese
Yeah.
or something.
When you said make you poop, so this was a big giant dirt turd, is what you're saying.
It just, yeah.
Like he was dropping a quattro.
I mean,
That's awesome.
but yeah, and then it's like the next day I had like a complete like power outage too.
Oh,
I was
man.
like, okay, yeah, love it here.
When I was the night manager at Wendy's, and this is a horrible story, an old lady came in. She was rushing to the bathroom. I don't think she made it, and then she tried to clean up on her own. And you ever seen the movie Daddy Daycare, where the kid goes and Eddie Murphy's looking around because he can't figure out how shit has gotten to every square inch of the building? This woman, it was a nightmare. And I walked in and I was like, oh my God, I'm the night manager. Okay, I'm the one making $8 an hour. So one
Right.
of you is going to do this. So Tim did so, God bless him. I'm like, you got to go clean the bathroom. You're on the dining room. We ended up taking a hose in there, Maddie, and just spraying it down. Yeah, because it was so bad. So, but God bless that old woman. It wasn't her intent to
I
do
know.
this. She was just praying to God. You know what I mean? No atheism there.
Right?
Yeah.
But I have it out for this man. That was full with intent. Like I'm gonna,
She's
Like, not say
I'll
a thing.
never forget you.
No, like I don't even like honestly like they were
No.
probably sitting there for more than a day just because like I was the first one to open that morning. Like if you really think about it, because like I was smelling it the next morning because I'm usually opening.
Right,
Like
right.
that's what my availability is, or like my other staff like doesn't have
Right.
the availability to open. So
Yeah.
like I was like, These weren't found last night, so exactly when did this happen?
Right.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
What are you trying to go in there? Was it you?
You know what? If it was me, you'd have known about it, okay? Because
You would have came out.
man,
would've
my
came
size
forward.
is like, did a bear shit in the damn thing?
We weren't looking. It could have
Right?
happened.
Yeah, I know, right? I wasn't there. I don't close.
Or if there's a girl who works there, maybe it's a vindictive boyfriend. I mean, you know what I mean? Think about it.
Yeah. I mean-
disgruntled worker.
And if it's a disgruntled girlfriend,
my
that's even better part of the story, that a woman was like, you know what, you son of a bitch, cheat
Yeah.
on me, you know?
Well,
Well, at least they decided to go clearance. I mean, they could have went out with your like skateboarder fancy Tony Hawk shit and
Yeah.
been like,
I mean, it was.
I'm gonna shit all over that. You know.
It was one of our, I don't know if you guys are like too familiar, but like Playboy has become so much bigger than what its like brand is now, and we sell a lot of it, and it's one of our top selling brands. So of course it was like in a Playboy pair of shorts also.
That's
Right.
funny.
So I'm like, these probably could have sold, but now we have to throw them away.
Right.
Like, so bad. So
Oh my goodness.
What do you think about that, Jen?
Well, I may already have my best of 2023 story.
so glad it was entertaining for
Yeah,
you. It
yeah.
wasn't for me in the moment.
yeah.
Possibilities are endless, and it reminded me of. Have you ever seen the documentary about the turd burglar?
No, I'm so awful about watching TV.
No,
if I'm
I
being
don't.
honest.
My
Like,
God, no.
You guys have to watch it. I'll have to figure out what it's called,
I have
the actual
PTSD.
thing. But yeah, there's somewhere up in like Washington or Pacific Northwest, this kid is busted for leaving turds all over his high school, and they call him the turd burglar. And
that-
it's a real story, you guys. It's a
He's not
real
s-
story.
He's not stealing them. Why would they call him the turd burglar?
I don't know, because he's sneaky like the Hamburglar, but just off it. I don't know. It's well worth it. And they actually find him and everything, the turd burglar. And I can't think of the actual documentary because it runs two different scandals. The other one's a kid drawing dicks all over the place, but
At Pepper's, the club I used to work at, behind them was this huge storm drain. And I think there was a homeless man living in part of it. But they used to call him the midnight shitter because he would go out to the open part, do his business, and leave it. So Jack Roar, Papa Jack, rest your soul, buddy, I'd be like, go see if the midnight shitter struck again. And I don't know why those are thing like he's been here. That's fresh, you know.
oh
So,
my
yeah.
goodness. That hit every part of my entertainment
Yeah.
genre.
Yeah.
I love poop jokes. I love that somebody, I would never do it, but the balls on some people, or maybe he just had to poop, and then you throw in, if I have a choice between my pants or somebody
know.
else's.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, I'm
Just
going
not in my
somebody
store,
else's
please.
also.
Yeah, fair enough, man. But I already paid for these pants. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
or just exchange them. Don't be an asshole.
That was
Right.
pure entertainment for me. I hope it's the true one.
All right. All right, so far so good. By the way, if you tell a shit story on this podcast, it goes south real fast. Just so all of you out there know that, okay?
I love poop stories.
No,
You and my mom both. You guys
I'm
are
all for toilet humor. Yeah.
they're great stories because everybody does it. Everybody has experiences with shit, so it's
Yeah, we all poop.
no matter where they are.
They wrote a book about it.
Yes, they did. It's a great book. Anyway, all right, one left. Actually, that was the one I wanted to hear last, by the way. So I didn't want to.
Oh, you wanted to hear shitty
I mean,
day
come
work.
on, yeah.
See, and I was under the impression that maybe she had a problem with payroll
Oh.
or just was having a crappy day at work.
No.
I was not expecting the gloriousness of what
The
you just
behind
told
it.
us.
Yeah, behind the
Yes.
scenes.
Yeah. All right, one left. Bars and cars.
All right, so bars and cars. So I want to say it was a Friday night. This time I was up in Fort Collins. I was up there for 5.5 months, almost 6, I believe, like staying up there. So kind of like a little bit of a backstory. One of my really good friends, Abby Huff, the guys that we were dating, or that
What's
I was
up,
dating
Abby Huff?
Yeah, love you, Abby.
Love you, Abby.
But the guy that I was dating at the time and her current boyfriend are roommates. So we would go out quite a bit, you know, out on the town or whatever. Well, we decided to go to Brothers that night, nothing crazy. We were just hungry. Abby wanted the gator balls. I don't know if you guys have ever had those at Brothers, but it's like fried, like bacon wrapped like chicken or something. I don't
Nice.
even know. But yeah. So, you know, typical. I was exhausted that day. I don't even know like why, but probably just work.
Right.
Kind of dead for a Friday night or whatever. We're just kind of sitting there having conversation, super chill. Well, next thing you know, we just hear like a whole bunch of like sirens and like ambulances, and we're just like, screw this. We're just gonna keep eating, and then we'll go and watch like the show afterwards, you know?
Right.
Well, so we're eating, whatever. Finally get done, finish up our conversation, like pay the lady, whatever. Well, we walk outside, and everyone's just kind of like frantic and like, you know, looking, and we're just like, okay, like what the hell is happening? Like, okay.
Right.
And like this guy comes up to us like, did you see what happened? And we're like, no. But you know, there's a pretty big scene out here, so like, what happened?
Right,
And he's
right.
all, well, some guy was like leaving the bars and like got hit by a vehicle, and you were like, oh.
He was pedestrian.
Yeah, just like a pedestrian like walking
Oh,
across the
shit.
street. And so we were like, nope. Just enjoying our gator bowls inside, you know? Like, having casual conversation.
In 100 episodes, that's the first time that's ever been said. Didn't you just
Gator
enjoy my gator
balls.
balls? Yeah.
I know, super weird name. I was just like, Abby, like, what are you even liking right now? Like, what are you talking about? She's like, dude, you have to try them. I
Put
was
one
like,
in your
okay.
mouth now. No,
Yeah,
good,
literally.
pass.
I'm
Yeah.
totally gonna try them after you
I mean,
said it.
yeah, at first I was like, are they like real? Like, are they kind of like Rocky Mountain oysters?
Right,
But no, not
right.
at all. She's like, no. And I was like, okay.
There's
'Cause,
no
like-
gator involved.
No. It's just the name.
All right.
But yeah, anyway, this guy gets hit by a car on College. And next thing you know, like my car, because at the time, like I didn't want to drive, like Abby's boyfriend drove.
Right.
My car, and we got like the best like parking spot, but like what comes with that is like it's right also like on College.
Right.
Well, my car got taped in to like the crime scene.
Oh,
And I had to
shit.
like work the next morning, and like I said, I already like went into it like exhausted.
Right.
So they like taped my car, and that like we had to ask. We were like, hey, like we were literally just coming in to like grab a bite to eat. Like, is there any way that we can like go like home?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, considering the fact that your car is a part of the like investigation, like you
Oh.
can't leave. And we were like, come on. Like,
Right.
you know that my car was not in motion.
Right.
Like, my
Right.
car has been parked here.
Right.
And he's like, sorry, guys, you guys will have to, you know, like, do whatever, kill time, like, wait here. And we were just like, okay, like, I guess we'll just sit. But we waited there for, like, hours. Like, we didn't probably get there until, like, 8, 9 o'clock to just go and eat these
That
stupid gator
sucks.
balls. And I was like, thanks, Abby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, I'm
Yeah.
so happy you
All
got your
because of
dinner,
your
you know?
gator balls.
Yeah, all because of this, and now
Yeah.
my car's a part of this crime scene investigation. Like, and
That
it's-
sucks.
And like the shitty thing about it is like my car was the one taped right next to the one that wasn't. So like my car could have been like one off.
Oh, yours
from
was the
tape.
last
Right.
of the blood spattered
Yes.
area.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. That sucks.
Yeah, so we probably didn't leave. I don't even remember what time it was. Probably like 1:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if you didn't go, you're screwed. Because then you left this crime scene. That's,
So we were all kind of just like sitting there, like, well, what do we do?
Abby's like, let's get more gator balls.
Yeah, she's like, I'm still hungry. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that was that one. So fun and eventful.
Wow.
What do you think about that one, Jen?
All I can think about right now is like bacon wrapped chicken,
She's like,
gator
I'm
balls. Yeah.
Where's Brothers at?
So you go down like College. It's kind of by the Aggie
Okay.
Theater, like right across from there, kind of. So you
Okay.
like walk a little ways.
Oh, okay. So it's downtown.
Yeah, it's downtown, like on
Old
College.
Town or whatever.
Yeah, Old Town,
Okay.
whatever.
Downtown. All right. I liked it.
I did too, and totally believable because somebody just really screwed up when they designed the parking
Yeah.
on College.
Yeah.
I mean, it.
Or they just didn't know it'd grow to that extent. You know what I mean?
True.
I think the north part of Colorado Springs is the same way. You've driven down Springs?
Yes.
It's a nightmare, dude.
I haven't been there in so long.
I-25 sucks. It
well, I
sucks
drive that
so
every
bad.
day.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
yeah.
it's terrible.
But in Springs, it's like they never thought it'd grow. It's just, man, I hate going through Springs, going to Pueblo. That's why I always go through Lyman. But yeah, I don't think they knew it was going to grow. Look how big Colorado's getting. I mean,
I know, even here.
you live on the Front Range, and yeah, so
I live in
mean,
Mokbui.
But I mean, okay,
yeah.
that's even a better example. I
Yeah.
mean, how big is that getting?
It's getting huge.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were there.
I just, well, I like pretty much moved like 3 times this year. So I
That's
moved
good.
out of here on my house, like out of my house from my rental,
Right.
and then like I said, I lived in Fort Collins for like a little bit, like the 5 or 6 months, and then I moved
Mm-hmm.
in with Abby and Forest Huff, just the end of December.
Right.
So in like Brighton, Lochbuie area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's every time I go down there, there's a new housing development.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We're in the new housing development. Like if you look on maps, it just shows dirt. So everyone's like, "Are you just like in a field?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, this is my new house."
That's right.
Like
Yes. We're doing Girl Scout badges. That's what we're
Yeah.
looking for now. Yeah. For
staying
sure.
in a tent until
Yeah.
our house gets built.
Yeah, it's hippie. If I have to use the restroom, I just go at work in someone else's pants. It's fine.
Yeah.
So,
It was me.
it was me. Set it up. Here's my plan. I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to go on a podcast that nobody listens to. And then I'm just going to go, and that's my alibi. Is like somebody else. It's a mad shitter. So,
That's right. I was
Yeah.
busy, huh?
and then if they catch you, you're like, it must be my twin because you have one. See?
Yeah, right.
It all
Just
works
blame it
out.
all on her.
Poor Allie.
I know,
Sorry,
poor
Allie.
Allie.
All right. Do you have one in mind?
I do.
Don't say it out loud yet.
I'm not.
Okay. So when we decide what we're going to pick, we rock, paper, scissors. How do you rock, paper, scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Another 4
I know.
pumper.
I know you're
I hate
what
it.
is it?
3 pumper.
3 pumper. See, I can't do it that way,
Is
or
that
else
what
I
you
get
were
all
taught by
jazzled.
your mother?
I don't know.
We're-
I think
I'm
just
gonna
like
ask her.
I think just school. No, actually, I think she is a 3 pumper. She's a weird one. Super weird.
Did you know there's a difference before this podcast?
Yes, which
Okay.
is I think why it always threw me off. I'm like, you don't even do it right. It's
Right.
4 pumps.
Right.
Like,
It's been although 4 pumps lost last year in 2022. So
oh, it did.
yeah, I got the
Dang.
Yeah.
Yep, 3
More
pumps
pumpers.
won.
Yeah.
Well, they're wrong.
Well, see, Dancia and Matt did the same thing. It's seen some conspiracy theories. Like I pull you aside, Maddie, and before the podcast, I'm like, okay, it's a 3 pumper. It's
Oh, well,
Bribe.
that didn't happen.
3 pump, 4 pump bribery.
we're gonna do 4
Yeah.
pumps. Ready?
All right.
I got to beat you this time. You beat me twice so far. I don't like it.
Okay, I'm ready. Oh, you got me.
So far, Maddie's my favorite episode. All right.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, 3 great stories. Children. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Shitty day at work, Airbnb and and bars and cars. What are you thinking?
Okay, so, and I have no knowledge of any of this, but I want the other 2 to be so true. That I'm hoping that you were not in the blood splatter zone when the guy got hit in the street. I'm going with bars and cars.
Really?
Yep.
I'm going to tell you, Maddie, this is one of the tougher ones, and here's why. Part of me wanted to pick the Airbnb, thinking it's only part true. The master bedroom wasn't true. That's what I wanted. And then, I think shitty day at work. I have a hard time with that one, too. I don't think it's to that extent, but I want to say that's true. And bars and cars usually would trip me up because it's got less detail than everything else, other than gator balls. So I would always pick that one. So there's some in all 3 that draw my attention. So this is, pun intended, a crapshoot. So I am actually. What did you pick? Bars and cars.
Bars and cars.
See, that's what I almost want to go after because it's got. I'm gonna go against my best guess. I'm gonna go Airbnb and is the Bullhucker. Just I don't know if the master bedroom part is the part that is actually made up and the rest of it's true. I know part of it's true because you brought it up in Allie's episode about them jumping off into the pool.
But that was the only part
But that's
I
the
knew
only
of
part,
that entire
so
trip.
I'm gonna go Airbnb and for that very reason. You're gonna go bars and cars.
Bars and cars.
Before you lift that up, one thing I want to say is Bullhucker Podcast. If you enjoy, check us out under the As Seen on the Bullhucker. You can find links to the Club Tap Room and Picking Out Barbecue. If you're needing a caterer or a cool place to hang out, come check it out and support this local family. Also, if you like the podcast, on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, there is a little red button. It's our subscribe button. Hit that. It's a small click for you, but a huge click for us, and support the podcast. We really appreciate it. So, now having said that, Airbnb, bars and cars. Let's see your board. I hate the smirk already. Bars and cars.
Yeah, you may have got the 4 pump, but I got bars and cars.
What's not true about that story?
Just my car was the one over from the tape, so the guys were actually nice enough to actually let us leave.
Oh,
that
see,
is the
that's the-
only thing that wasn't true.
All right.
So
But better yet, shitty day at work is true.
Yeah.
Oh
Unfortunately
my
for you.
God.
Yeah,
That's true.
that is true.
I love
mean,
that both are true. I like that you got to play in the closet.
Yeah.
And the shitty day at work is
What's-
going to go in my top.
What's a Louis Vuitton
Top
bag
ones.
run nowadays?
Honestly, I have no idea. I've never been into like the big like
Right.
spending stuff because I'm like I don't even like wear a bag. You know, that's like
I can.
Well, how much?
yeah.
Only because, of my very good fortune to have a multi-millionaire back in the
Yeah.
day or
Yeah.
whatever. A Gucci bag, small, is about $1,000. So if you had a Louis Vuitton that was like an actual purse, you'd be looking at probably $1,500 to $2,000.
I was gonna say I would.
Wow.
And a complete
Yeah.
waste of money.
Really?
Well, you can buy the knockoffs for 60 to $80, and nobody's pulling your purse away to inspect the inside to see if it's a real one.
Learned something new. I know Air Jordans, weirdly enough, have not changed in price over the decades. They've always been like
Yeah.
200 plus, Even in the 80s when they first came out, because I wanted a pair, but I had a single mother who laughed hysterically when I told her I want some Air Jordans. She's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
But it's still the same price, which is weird, right? The Air Jordans really, but they're expensive as hell. And what else was in there? Did you say? Just
Or
And
like,
the-
like probably
I was going to say
Louis
any of
Vuitton,
it.
Michael
Yeah.
Kors, like I don't know, just some like
Gucci,
name
Prada,
brand, yeah,
the big
probably like all
ones.
kinds of stuff, yeah.
crazy. Well, they almost deserve to get robbed. I hate to say that.
Well, it's not on there anymore. We can't even stay there.
Yeah, yeah. And thank Mady Stroh for that, there, ladies and
Sorry,
gentlemen.
guys.
Yeah, and then so Airbnb is a true story.
Yes, it is.
That's
100%.
That's awesome. So,
Yep.
well, I don't know. What do you think about it all? This is a fun one, Jen.
Oh, this whole day has been absolutely entertaining. From
It has
beginning
been.
to
It's
end.
been a lot
It
of
has been
fun.
fun.
Not
Yeah.
one of the stories hasn't made me laugh so hard. But your shitty day at work will go down in history
It was a
for
literal
me.
shitty day at
Yeah.
work, guys.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like, exaggerating when I say that, but
Right.
there was real shit involved.
Makes you hate your job a little bit, right?
That day, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. And
yeah.
I think that whole week, like I said, I had a power outage literally the next
Right.
day, and I was like,
I
I need to
almost
go right.
needed, I almost needed a pair of your pants just right here from laughing so hard.
Well, I didn't bring any this time. Sorry.
Right. Well, Maddie, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you guys.
Let
it was
me
fun.
ask you this real quick. Were you nervous to do this?
I was super nervous.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay
like,
now, though,
terrified.
right?
No.
You're okay now, though,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Would you ever come back and do this?
I would, yeah, if you guys had me.
Yeah, awesome. I always ask that at the end because people who are nervous, I always tell them, watch in the podcast because everybody's nervous to do it. Like 90% of the people
Yeah.
are crazy. I had to re-talk some people into doing it that agreed to, and they're like, try to back out. I'm like, just give it a shot.
Yeah.
And they loved
Just
it.
try it.
Right. I'm glad you have a good time. Thank you for
Yeah.
coming in.
Well, thank you
Thank
guys.
you
It was
so
much.
much.
I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm Generous.
Generous. Till next time. See you.